Good morning, everyone. How are you all this morning? I'm so glad to join you again. It's been almost 3 weeks. I was making worm tea for the first time in probably I don't know, close to a year maybe, and it's such a simple thing that I wanted to bring you along for the journey. And I still have it running, and I'm going to show you here just in a minute. But what I wanted to tell you was just to kind of review it and to say that I have a 5-gallon bucket, and it's filled with rainwater. This is actually water from my big water rocks that I have in the front. I've shown you those. Uh, if you like, I can go over that information with you again and make another short video. They're the greatest things. I've had them since 2009, and they're really showing no signs of wear. I collect rainwater from my gutters, and they're 40-gallon water rocks. I have 2 of them. I wish I had 4 or 6. At the time they were $99, and I think the shipping was, I don't know, 10 or 15. Now they're 200 and something, and the shipping is double that. So I'll be satisfied with 2 and just keep using them. Anyway, long story short, I had taken 3.5. I had 3-gallon containers here and a half a gallon. So I put 3.5 gallons of rainwater. Then I had unsulfured molasses. Make sure it's unsulfured. And I used a tablespoon overflowing and put that in the water. Then I took about one of these containers for me full is right about 3.5 pounds. That's about what I used. And so it was, tit for tat, 3.5 gallons to 3.5 pounds. If I was going to make a 5-gallon, I would have added more. I think that it's just a balance, so that you're getting about the right consistency. And that was it, wasn't it? Worm castings. There's probably a few worms in there. Water, molasses. Oh, aeration. That's what we want to add. So the aeration adds oxygen into the soil. This is just a little air pump, and I'm reaching over myself. This is what it looks like. This is the air pump. I hope you can see that. This is the higher lower, and I don't know if you can hear it, but here's the air rocks. I can hear them as they go back in. But here's all my worm castings. I'm going to let those drain just a little. This is about all I have to put it in. Is my tray. I guess I could get all wet and wring that out. But I'm just going to let it drain over here. A little wet, just a little wet. Hang on just one sec. Okay, now you're going to get a good view. You can see those nice little bubbles. Well, as I told you, I only needed to do it for 12 or 24 hours. Well, I kind of forgot about it, which is, my new MO is that I keep forgetting things. Anyway, I think this has been bubbling for almost 3 days. So if there's any worms in there, boy, are they really packed with air, and they're going to be frisky. So let's just turn this off and get started. Okay, so now I've taken the worm castings out, and I've taken the water rocks out. By the way, when I get done with this, I will wash these because I mean I can just feel that they are just slippery, slidey, gooey bacteria, yuck yuck, whatever whatever word you want to use. And I don't want those to clog up. I'm not sure exactly how they work, but I want to make sure that they're ready for the next time. Rick bought those for me. I think probably 2-3 years ago, something like that. And in the beginning, I was making worm tea all the time, and I've kind of gotten lazy about doing it. So I need to get back into it because I really want my plants to look pretty this year. So now we're going to move this. I want to show this to you whenever I'm a little more finished here. And I had 3.5 gallons. Now, if you don't remember what I said, let me repeat it. Worm tea, this is 3 days. After a day, it wasn't quite this dark. This is like a 2 tea bag cup of tea, and after a day or so, it was like a 1 tea bag cup of tea. Anyway, now my friend Ellen, she has a travel channel, and it's Two Twinsters, I think is the name of it, and she has twin boys. And she said, oh my goodness, she said, I watched it, I was so afraid you were going to drink that. Well, this was the discussion. Could you drink it, and would you get sick? One, you're using rainwater, so, and the rainwater is sitting in that rain rock, so I'm sure there's bacteria in there. Is it all good bacteria? Probably not for my system. I have Crohn's disease, and I'm very careful. But for somebody who's strong, they could probably drink rainwater out of a barrel and not get sick. You know, the old, we used to drink out of the hose. Well, I did, as kids. So you've got that, you've got the water. The worms are actually a high protein food that could be eaten. And I'm just going to work along here so that you know. And molasses, well, molasses is okay. That's a sugar, cane sugar. And so you probably could, except for the castings. The idea of the castings are, it's the worm's poop. And that probably wouldn't be too good for you. So guess what? I think we'll pass on that, and I'll stick with my dose coffee and my twining tea and my Cabernet at night. So what I'm adding here is, this is a cup, and this is 16 cup gallon, and I filled them so that I could put in maybe 2 cups, so 1 cup to 7, if you wanted to look at it that way. So it would be about, what's that, 14%, something along those lines, would be your worm tea in there. Anything 10 to 20%, I would use, and I wouldn't be the least bit worried about it. And so if when I first got my worms, and I bought everything from Worms Way, the company in Sorrento, Florida. For those of you who are around here and listening to me, I had one of my friends said, oh, she drove 2 hours to get to Sorrento, Florida, so that she could buy them from the same place, and she was thrilled. So they sold the worm tea, and in those days we used to think that anything that came off the worms, out of the can of worms, out of the bottom, was worm tea, and that's how they were selling it. It was actually worm leachate, because it was what was leaching off of their out of the poop that they were defecating. and also any of the vegetables or scraps or whatever, and that was all coming off. It was a little higher in bacteria, I think. The worm tea actually comes from our casting, so let's say it's a little cleaner, it's a little purer, at least I'd like to think that. I was given the information that you could use that worm tea or worm leachate straight out of the bottle if you want it. It was supposed to be 50 times because they would keep running it through. They'd let it run down and then they'd collect it and they'd let it run down again. And each time it was becoming more and more concentrated, like my 3-day-old rather than the 1-day-old. And it would have been perfectly safe, and they did not feel that it would burn the plant at all. As time has gone on, we all seem to change our, we'll learn something and then go, oh wait, I need to change my story there. And we've learned that it's really kind of a waste to do that. And so 10%, 20% worm tea to your water is really enough. And so that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm giving each one of these just a little bit of worm tea. This isn't leachate, this is tea. And it's aerated. So now it's like, which is better? Picking the piece of fruit, giving it a little rinse and eating it, or picking the piece of fruit and driving it across the country or across the world, and you let it sit on your counter and then for days, and then you eat it. Well, of course, fresh is better. So this is fresh. This is better. The oxygen, the bacteria, everything is still really pumping and really alive. So anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. Is I have my watering cans here, and I'm going to add my go ahead and I'm going to water all of my stuff today. We're not expecting any rain today, and it's still morning, so my plants are, well, they're pretty hydrated. Today's Friday. I don't think they weren't watered this morning. Our irrigation runs on Thursday and it runs again on Saturday, so it didn't run for it this morning, so my plants will probably be just a little thirsty. And I'm going to go ahead and try and get some of it contained so that I can clean my bucket and put it away until the next time. And so I think that was all that I wanted to show you. And all I'm going to do is take my watering can out and go ahead and just water everything. Every plant, flower, I'm just going to swing it around, all of my grass. I'm going to do it in my compost. Put some life back in there. I have my pink containers that you've seen that have all of my leaf droppings from my Drake elm tree, and they have been sitting now for 4 or 5 months, and they're starting to break down. Well, if I give them some warm tea, that's going to I'm going to turn it over and dampen those a little bit. And because it's not just water, because it's rainwater, and because it's the bacteria, it will help that to break down too. So I hope that helps you. Hang on just one more sec. Okay, I've just turned it over. Here was my little mesh bag. I want to look inside and see if I see anyone. I was really very careful this time, trying to make sure that I didn't lose any worms in the in it. And I'm going to try and keep myself a little cleaner here. I don't think I'm going to find any. In the past, I've found worms, and oh my goodness, they're just well, they're clean to say the least, but they're also frisky. Now you might ask, what are you going to do with that? Well, I could actually dry it out and begin again, but what I will do is I'll take this and actually add it to some Miracle Grow, or you could add it to really anything. I don't see any worms at all, do you? No, I don't. I don't. I won't hold you any longer. But what I will do is I will add this to some potting soil or something in small amounts, and or I could add it to my rain water and just slushy, and then go ahead and water my plants that way. My one rain barrel, which one do I have here? The one that doesn't have a top to it, what do they call it, a flower or a rose or something like that, where it comes through all the little holes. Well, obviously that would clog. But this one, even if I add a handful and give it a slosh about, and then water my plants, it would be just perfect. It would be just fine. So with that, I will say this is it's an easy project to do. It's a little messy, yes, I know. So, realize that your hands are going to be dirty until you wash them. And there's nothing that's really going to hurt you or harm you in any way, other than it's a messy project. And wear gloves if it bothers you. But I think it's certainly worthwhile, and I hope everybody has a great day. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Garden what you've got. Come back and see me again real soon, because I'll be here. Take care. Bye-bye.